Spotlight on Frazee is sponsored by these community-minded businesses and organizations. United Community Bank, an independent, family-owned and operated bank committed to empowering customers to achieve their financial goals. Member FDIC. Frazee Family Foods, what a hometown grocery store should be. Friendly staff, family-owned, and a wide variety of groceries to fulfill your needs.
Welcome to Spotlight on Frazee. I'm your host, Hank Ludke, and I'm here today in the city of Frazee with Denise Anderson, City Administrator. Hi, Denise.
Well, good morning, and thanks for having me.
And also Mike Bretthorst, County Administrator. Hi, Mike.
Oh, good morning. Good morning. It's great to be here today.
Well, I'm happy to have you here. You know, a lot of things going on. 2020 is coming up here real soon, and it's census time in Minnesota and across the country. And we'd like to talk a little bit about that so you people in TV3 land understand a little bit more about what's going on. So, Denise, from city level, what does this look like for you?
Well, it's not only city level, it's the county, and it's statewide. This 2020 census is going to encompass data for the whole state, county, and city, where we can draw the data to determine, like for the city, it would be our local government aid, our LGA. It's just so important that when you receive these forms, either they be electronically, through email, or if a census taker does come to your home, it's so important that we receive this information so we can have a correct count and so that everyone in Minnesota counts.
And I understand, you know, that's a major thing, you know, and I know we were talking earlier, Mike, you know, about our congressional district.
Right. The state of Minnesota has a population of about 5.6 million people. So we're a fairly large state. Now, within the state, we have 8 congressional districts. Now, the way that works is that every 10 years is a reappropriation of the congressional delegation. And in 2010, we maintained our 8th congressional district by 8,500 people. When you do the math, that's a rounding error in regards to the population census. So if we drop by 8,500 roughly, we will lose our congressional district. And so that's a big deal when it comes to the federal funding. The other thing of interest and of note is that for every person missed, that is a direct dollar reduction in the amount of money, federal money, that's paid statewide through to the people to the state of Minnesota or the county or the city by about $2,800. So every 10 years, that equals roughly $28,000 that we would lose for each person. So it's very critical that we get an accurate and complete count.
Well, you know, when I look at this and I think of you people out there and projects that we do at county level, city level, township level, and state level, we need to get the count from you on what's happening. And, you know, it's not a major thing, is it, Denise? You know, it isn't like a 5-page questionnaire or something.
No, I believe that it will be a maximum of 10 questions, and I do want everyone out there to know that your data is going to be protected. This is only for 2020 census data. This cannot be released to the White House or to other governmental agencies. And I also want to make sure that families know it's so important. Even those babies need to be counted. Babies, school children, grandma, grandpa, shut-ins. We need to get everybody counted because everyone in Minnesota counts.
Well, and we look at this situation, you know, and you're going to be able to answer it by mail, yes, and also online. And then the ones that we don't hear from, we're going to be sitting there and people will actually come out and see you and talk to you. And they want to make sure that some of these places that people are living at, that we have all the information that goes on with that. We're going to take a break here for a minute, and we're going to be right back with Denise and Mike and talk more about the census and other things that are happening in the great county of Becker.
Spotlight on Frazee is sponsored by these community-minded businesses and organizations. The City of Frazee and Frazee Event Center, featuring a 5,000 square foot room, a built-in stage, and a full-service bar, perfect for a multitude of events. Call or click to book your event.
Welcome back to Spotlight on Frazee. I'm here with City Administrator Denise Anderson and County Administrator Mike Brethorst, and we're talking about the 2020 census and how this affects you and your future and your family. And Mike, a little bit about the jobs that are going on.
Well, with the federal process that we get to go through here, there's going to be job opportunities for people. There's roughly dedicated to Becker County. There's a formula that's used, and so the U.S. Census will be recruiting roughly 230 people to work temporarily. It's anywhere between 20 hours to 180 to 200 hours, depending on the situation. And these jobs are paying roughly $14 an hour. It's temporary, it's seasonal work, but you're actually going out and you're assisting people complete the census, the ones that don't complete the mail version or the online version. So the compensation for that's roughly $14 an hour plus mileage. And so it's a good opportunity for people to consider. And we're looking for people that are have time to go out there, have these networks of individuals that they feel comfortable approaching to make it more comfortable for people to complete the census, because sometimes people are concerned about what this data is and how it's used. And the census itself is very basic. There's really 10 questions, and it's just your age, your gender, your the number of people in your family, and that's really about it. There is another survey that's completed. That's the community census, and that's done randomly throughout the census period over the 10 years. So many of us have gotten those applications or census surveys, which was the complete census, the community census as we call it now. And now that it's very time consuming. I shouldn't say time consuming, but it takes some time to do that. Where this census does not. It literally will take you 3 to 4 minutes to actually complete the census. So.
Well, that's good to know, and so, you're looking to make a little bit of extra money, or you're a retired person like me that needs to do something so that you've ran through all your yarn and can't do your knitting anymore. Maybe you need to go out and see some of your friends and make sure they're doing this stuff and earn a couple of extra bucks, and we're going to let you talk a little bit more about this also, Denise.
Okay. I just want everyone to be aware that if you would go to your browser and just type in Minnesota Counts or Minnesota Census 2020, you're going to find a multitude of literature at your fingertips that's going to describe and explain to you how the information, the data is used, how you can contact someone if you wish to be a census worker, or if you even have questions on your form. I've also put these on the Frazee EDA Facebook page, and we have a new website that should be coming out in about 2 weeks, and all that information will be on the City of Frazee website. Also, I'm going through this kind of fast, but the phone number, if you have questions about being a census worker or questions on the forms, please call 1-855-562-2020.
Well, I appreciate that. And, this is very important, and so if you don't do it online or you don't do the mailer, somebody will be coming to visit you. They'll have a tag in their car. They'll be wearing their ID tag, and they will want to ask you these basic questions. So be hospitable. This money counts for you on the road that runs past your house, on what happens with your school districts, what happens at the county, the state, city, all the levels. Like Mike had said, this is worth
$2,800 a year, roughly, or $28,000 over a 10-year period.
That's a lot for everybody in the county. So let's make sure that we do this right and welcome these people. And we appreciate both Mike Brethorst from the county.
It's great to be here, and it's going to be an interesting census.
And Denise Anderson, City Administrator.
And thank you again for having me. And again, if you have questions, feel free to stop by the City Hall here at Frazee, and we'll be happy to help you out.
And with that, remember it's deer hunting season. Remember Vets Day on the 11th. But remember to pet your dog, hug your kids, kiss the wife, and wave at the neighbor. Because the next person you wave at could be your next best friend. And we'll catch you next week on Spotlight on Frazee.